This videotape is for anyone who would like to learn the basics of scrapbooking. So if you've never scrapbooked but you're interested in finding out what it's all about, this is for you. Or if you're a beginner scrapbooker, perhaps you might pick up some tips. I'm going to start by showing you the basic supplies, what I consider to be the least you can get away with to start scrapbooking, and I'll take you through the steps of creating a basic layout. So the first thing you need, obviously, is an album. Scrapbook albums, or memory albums as they're called sometimes, come in many shapes and sizes. There's one for every taste and every budget. The one I'm holding up here is by K Company. That's one of my favorite brands because they're just so pretty. And this album is 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches square. You can get them in many sizes. 12 by 12 is perhaps standard, but these smaller albums are very nice too. When you buy an album, typically there will be page protectors inside. So these are the page protectors. This particular album came with 12. When you have completed your layout, you insert it in here inside this acrylic, one on each side, and that keeps your work safe. Now, many albums can be enlarged. This is called a post-bound album, and you can add additional page protectors later if you want. To do that, you open this, and if you'll notice, there are two screws here and there. You remove the screws, remove this, add your page protectors, and put the screws back in again. Now, you will need to decide before you purchase your album, you'll need to decide whether you want one that can be expanded, and if you do, make sure that that's the kind that you buy, and also make sure that the additional page protectors you buy will work in that particular type of album. So if you're buying a K Company album, you will probably need K Company pages. So that's the album, the first thing that you need. As far as the tools go, what I consider the basic tools are your cutters, your adhesives, and a pen for journaling. So to go over the cutters, you need scissors, paper scissors, good paper scissors, which you can purchase at any scrapbooking store. And the reason I have a colored yarn tied around mine is because I have taken them to scraps and I've put the yarn around to identify my own scissors in case they get lost. You will also need a paper trimmer. You don't strictly need this, but it makes life so much easier that if you can afford the $20 or so that it costs, I really encourage you to get a paper trimmer. And I'm going to demonstrate in a few minutes how to use this paper trimmer. You're going to need adhesives, and I would suggest at least two kinds. Whatever you get, it's important that it's marked acid-free. Ordinary adhesives will rot your pictures, and you don't want that to happen. So when you're buying from a craft store, always check the adhesives and any other product for that matter to make sure that it is acid-free and scrapbook safe. So this is a glue stick. They're quite handy. I use them quite a bit. And you would also need, I think, a second adhesive such as this double-sided sticky tape. Okay, that's the adhesives. And journaling is a very important part of scrapbooking. You are not advised to use an ordinary pen for your journaling. You can purchase special writing tools. Or alternatively, if you're handy with the computer, you can print your journaling out from the computer. You might want stickers. Alphabet stickers are particularly handy for making titles. Your titles could be made from punches, or they could be rubber stamped, or they could be cut from die cuts, or they could be printed out from the computer. But if you're not planning on using the computer, then for beginners these alphabet stickers are definitely the easiest and simplest thing. And you will need, of course, in terms of supplies for your layout, you will need at least 1 square of cardstock and perhaps a couple of sheets of scrapbook paper in colors that match. I'm going to be using black and white photographs for this layout, which means that it's relatively easy to match up your scrapbook pages and colors. If you're using colored photographs, you might want to consider taking your photographs to the scrapbooking store and matching them up with papers so that you end up getting something that's pleasing to the eye. Now, optionally, you might also want to add some embellishments. For example, these, I'm possibly going to be using these paper flowers on this layout that I'll be demonstrating. But there are many things. You can purchase any amount of embellishments at scrapbooks and craft stores, or you can enlist products you might have around the house, such as ribbon, lace, buttons, safety pins, anything at all that will enhance the look of your pages. So now I'm going to demonstrate the use of the paper trimmer. Please visit my additional video to view the Fisker paper trimmer in operation.